Hey strong people, Beck here from StartingStrongman.com. Go to StartingStrongman.com/apparel. Free shipping on all shirts right now if you watch this within the 3 days or so that I release it. First 3 days or so. Anyways, I want to talk about the 3 events or lifts you should be careful with or try to avoid altogether if you don't plan to compete in strongman but you just want to add some of the stuff to your own training. For fun, because it is fun, and there's a lot of benefits to doing odd objects. But the problem with odd objects is they're odd, so they can put you in precarious positions. They're very technical, so if you're just kind of going out there and doing things willy-nilly, there's a higher risk of getting hurt. When weighing what events I feel, someone who's doing powerlifting wants to do a little bit of strongman at the end as a finisher, conditioning, or just to, just make training fun, like doing the same 3 lifts over and over isn't that fun unless it's strict press and deadlift and strict pressing. I find that fun. But anyways, so you have to look at the risk versus the reward and how technical the event is. There's some events that are very similar to others, but they're a little easier to learn, and there's not as much of that curve where if you do it improperly, it's very dangerous. Let's take Atlas stones, the most iconic event in strongman, but I'm also going to say it's probably one of the worst implements you can add into if you just want to do some, odd objects for fun. It's very technical. Everyone does it wrong. Everyone scoops, which is going to put your bicep in a horrible position, and it can cause a lot, and you're going to put yourself in a position where you can get easily injured. So a very good alternative that's easier to learn and seems to be a little more forgiving is a sandbag. It does the exact same thing, pretty much, as an Atlas stone, but for whatever reason, it just seems there's less, it's a little more forgiving. It kind of folds around you. Since it's not round, it's not always trying to slip out from under you, so people don't try to scoop it. So I think if you are just starting out or you just want to add some strongman into your training, getting sandbags instead of stones, or if you have both available, using those more often is going to be way better. Plus you don't have to worry about doing stuff like dealing with tacky, which gets everywhere and costs money, and you can get it stored at StartingStrongman.com, and all of that. Plus, stones kind of ruin gym floors. They're round, so all of the weight is distributed in this little focal point. So when you drop, I don't care. You put all the matting down, etc. It's just a gym owner's nightmare. So if you're thinking about buying a set of stones for your gym that you run, that's something to keep in mind. Something like kegs or sandbags do practically the same thing from a functional fitness standpoint, but they're a lot easier to teach. They're a lot easier to store and just move around. The only downside to sandbags really is that they don't roll like kegs or Atlas stones. And you're just going to get the same benefit. Maybe doesn't look as cool, but also might not tear your bicep as easily. And just the form I see on Atlas stones, it's giving me a headache just thinking about it right now. Okay, so that's number 1. Use sandbags over stones. Continental cleans with an axle with a mixed grip. Don't do those unless you have it in a contest coming up. If you're just training, do log pressing, or do axle double overhand deadlifts to build up your grip strength. Do power cleans, which is gonna brutalize your upper back and your forearms because there's no rotation in the bar, so you have to use a lot of forearm strength to clean it, or even double overhand continental cleans. But I do not think that there is any athletic benefit to doing a mixed grip deadlift other than getting one of these little scars. Sometimes people go, oh, so why do you do it that way? Because it's necessary in competition. Competition and training are not the same thing. So if you are just looking to add some spice to your training, avoid a mixed grip, axle, anything, even deadlifts. I'm not a fan. there's just, you know, the whole risk versus reward thing. I think I just went over that. The third one, and also if you're gonna press the log is also, people seem to, you know, I have a problem picking up it's a little more technical, but it has so many benefits. Your erectors are going to get built up using it. Your upper back's going to get built up using it. I find it's a little easier on my shoulders because the neutral grip instead of here. Like, even just doing that, it's like, ow, that hurts. Ooh, this feels good. Putting yourself in that neutral grip like this. Sorry, I'm just checking myself out for a second. Just feels so much better than this, and it incorporates a little more chest, I've found, in the movement, because you're kind of leaning back a little bit. The log's just awesome. So if I'm not competing, I'm pressing log all day, every day, over an axle or barbell. So let's do that. Third. I already did this for 6 minutes. I'm not editing that. The third event that I feel should be used sparingly or somewhat avoided is the yoke walk. For some reason, people tout the yoke as like this great athletic tool. But it's funny because you talk to a lot of veteran strongman competitors, and I've had this conversation with many people, and I'm like, when you stop competing, what events are you never going to do again? And everyone's like, never going to do another yoke walk. Never going to do another continental clean. A lot of people get tired of stones too. So it's kind of funny because these events beat your body up. It's what's great about strongman competition. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do them, but just be cognizant of the risk and the reward and think about things like this. So why am I not a fan of the yoke walk for general athleticism? I feel it is fine if kept at a moderate weight. When I see people, like even when I used to coach and train at a CrossFit gym, there's yoke there, and people are like, dude, we did the yoke, and like I did this, and they show me a video, and I'm like, holy crap, you just stumbled, and you've never done this before, and you loaded like 600 pounds. I'm like, that's awesome, you did it, but how do you feel the next day? You feel horrible. Brutalizes the central nervous system, and you see people, their midline stability is just going all over the place. They have, you know, 4 times body weight right over their spine, you know, right over there, like, and then you have to walk with it. It's an advanced movement, and you really, really need to ease into that event. When I have new clients that are newer to strongman, I make it so, like, if there's any wavering at all in their midline stability, oh yeah, thanks dogs, that's it for the weight. I don't care if you could stumble and stutter, like do little steps with more weight. There's a lot that can go wrong overloading your body like that and walking. Hopefully the mic doesn't pick up. Tyson! Unedited. So just be careful with the yoke. I think that there is benefits to the yoke. For one, it's such a versatile piece. Like if you get the one at Rogue, you can use the Stern Strongman Amazon affiliate link at sternstrongman.com/sponsors. Like the Rogue or others it doubles as a squat stand. You can pretty much use it as your entire power rack. That's why I plan on replacing my power rack with a yoke soon. And I feel like doing some light walks, if you ease into it, is good. But for the majority, if it's just something you want to just try to do, don't be that hero that loads it up with like 600 or 700 pounds the first time. You can probably get the actual benefit of using your core and having the stability with 300 pounds and then slowly progress from there, or just stay at 300 pounds. Like I might do some, and I like overhead yoke walks for stability a lot. Again, that's an advanced movement, so it's good to have a coach or someone. I think Julian at StrongFit, he's touted those a lot on their how much they help, because being able to actually stabilize a weight overhead is a huge help. But it's also I also got an umbilical hernia from doing beltless yoke walk, and it wasn't even heavy for me. It's just you're putting your body under a lot of pressure. So take it from someone who's done these things, talked to a lot of people. There's just certain events, not saying any of these are bad per se, there's just better events you could use to incorporate strongman into your training. Like instead of yoke, do farmer's walk. Instead of instead of axle, do log. Instead of stones, do sandbag. Just think about it like that. Nothing's bad, but some are better and a little easier to learn. So go out, have some fun lifting.